Today we're going to go ahead and write some code for the LED board. So we're going to open up a new project. We're going to call this 2.2 LED board, and then we'll put our last name after it. We'll go ahead, hit create. And here's our work surface that we're going to be using today. We're going to go ahead and actually start this with an input. We're going to use a button. You could choose whatever button you'd like. You could go with A, B, or AB. In this particular case, I'm just going to keep the letter A. We're going to go ahead and turn the lights on this little board that we have, this auxiliary board. And we wanted to kind of repeat a couple of times. Since it's not in a forever, we are going to probably have to use a repeat block. So we can go ahead, put this 4 times. You could do it 10 times. I'll go ahead with 10 times. And do. So this is sort of repeating situation here. What we're going to do is we're going to hook up the lights to pin 1, 0, 1, and 2. So if you remember how we got an LED light lit before, was we had to write that pin. We go to pin and digital write pin. We're going to start with the first one. We're going to use pin 0. And to turn it on, remember we have to make it a number 1. We can either type 1 or move it over 1. This turns on. Oh, let me get it into the repeat. This says turn pin 1 on. And because we have a light on there, it's going to turn the light on. Now, it goes for a very short period of time. And so we're going to throw a pause in here. So if we go into basic, we scroll down just a little bit. We should have a pause. We're going to pause. 100 is pretty quick. We're going to go with, even though it's not here, let's go ahead and type in 300. Show that we can do that. So right now, if I press A, boom, it turns it on. It stays on for right now. I'm going to click this button here to reset everything. So we're going to keep it on for 3/10 of a second, I guess you could say, or 3/100th of a second. From there, we're going to go ahead and go back to our pins. And we're going to digital write pin 0, and we're going to leave it at 0 to turn it off. So it's on, pause and hold it, then turn it off. I'm going to save a little time here. I'm going to right click and hit duplicate. But what I want to do is I want to turn the next bulb on, because it's basically, I want to go bulb 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So now bulb 2, I guess, is going to be on pin 1. And instead of 0, we have to turn it on. So right now, if I hit A, we'll see what happens. All right, so it kind of repeats. This one is off now. It's repeating 10 times. Eventually that one will probably turn off too. So I'm going to go ahead and put another pause. I can go up to basic, grab another pause. We're going to pause 300 again. So as you see, turn the light on, turn the light 1 on pin 0, hold it, then turn it off, turn the next light on, hold it. And so we're going to do kind of the same thing here. I'm going to just zoom out 1 click. We'll go ahead to the variables or pins, sorry. We'll grab another digital write pin, pin 1, because that's the one that's currently on, and we're going to turn it off. We want to turn the next one on. That would be P2, and we want to turn that on. We can go ahead and see what we got so far, because we should turn this first one on, second one on, and then third one on. So we see a lot of this moving back and forth with this one staying on, which makes sense because we have not turned P2 off. So we'll hit reset. We're going to throw another pause in there. We're going to kind of keep things as uniform as we need to. Grab the wrong piece of code, not a big deal. pause 300. Excellent. And what we want to do is we want to turn off pin 2. So we're going to go to our pins again, digital right, change it to pin 2, which is light 3, and we're going to turn it off. Now let's see what we got. Press letter A. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So there you go. It repeated it 10 times, and notice all the lights are off because they're not lit. If we hit it again, whenever it hits a color, that means it's turning on. Cool. So this is the code that you need for tomorrow. Now, if you're interested, you could easily go to inputs. You could add a shake. You could make another piece of code. That's the cool part about this is as long as it's not A, but it's B, you can make up a different lighting. You could light them all, have all 3 flash on, then off, all 3 flash on, off, or you can make any pattern. You could, if you wanted to, added AB. You could use on that shake. So those are other ways to kind of get things sort of started. You could write other ones, and you could have all of these on here because they'll only work when you get them to go. Like if I took this and put it in the shake, the A button won't work, but if we shake it, it'll start going. So again, you have a lot of different options here. You could change the pauses. You could turn whatever lights you want on, however you want it to be. We are limited to really, even though there are actually 5 lights on this LED board, we only have the number of wires to perhaps do 3 of them. So that's why we're limiting ourselves to 3. And when I teach it, I teach 3. I don't teach all 5. We could use thread and actually use 1, but that's a story for a different day. So with that, make sure you have this ready to go tomorrow. Might be a good idea to go ahead and save it. Make sure that you save it or download it to your microbit, even though it's not hooked up yet, or make sure you save it to your Google Drive. The worst thing you want tomorrow is, oh, Mr. Fowler, mine doesn't save. That's kind of getting old. I understand that some of the computers don't allow you to save, but if you save it, you should be able to save it to your Google Drive into like a microbit folder we made before. All right, everybody. See you tomorrow. Peace.